According to the Vedic scriptures, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he appeared on this earth 5,000 years ago to perform pastimes, and these pastimes are called Leelas, or divine activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One of the Leelas is that Krishna appears as a baby, in the form of a baby, and he has a mother. Now originally Krishna was born in another location, and he was transferred to Mother Yasoda's location to protect him because there was a powerful demoniac being at the time named Kamsa who wanted to kill Krishna, and Kamsa was very aware that Krishna was a very divine, special being, and he had a lot of power, mystical power, and Kamsa was afraid of those powers. So he thought if he could get rid of Krishna while he was a baby, then that would save him from being terminated by Krishna later on. So Kamsa, sending a series of his demoniac friends to Krishna's residence, which is still existing today in India and is called Vrindavan. So at one time, a big celebration was being made in Vrindavan to celebrate Krishna's first birthday, and there is a special Vedic ceremony when a child reaches 1 year old. And so the residents of Vrindavan were putting together a big festival to celebrate Krishna's birthday, and there was a musical band playing and people were making a big feast, and the brahmanas, or the priests, were chanting Vedic mantras, and one of the mantras was meant to protect the child from any inauspicious influences. So the people of Vrindavan by that time were already aware that Krishna was a target for nefarious and evil forces. So they were always praying for his safety and well-being. As part of the celebration, Mother Yasoda bathed baby Krishna, and this bathing ceremony is still celebrated in India. It is called an abhishek, and Krishna's deity is given a bath on the auspicious occasion of Janmashtami, or his birthday. And on this auspicious occasion, Mother Yasoda and Nanda Maharaj, who is Krishna's father, were giving away cows and important gifts to the brahmanas who were present at that celebration. And so during that celebration, the baby Krishna appeared to become very tired, and he fell asleep. And so Mother Yasoda packed him into a basket and put him under a cart so that he would be protected from the sun. And in this way she thought this was a safe location to keep the baby while the rest of the celebrations are going on. Unfortunately, that cart had become inhabited by a ghostly being, and that ghostly being was one of the demon friends of Kamsa, and he had been sent to kill Krishna by assuming the form of a cart. And the plan was that the cart would crash down on the baby and kill the baby. So this was a very diabolical plan by Kamsa, but this particular demon had previously been cursed to become a ghost because he had made some offenses to great saintly people, and so the saintly people felt sorry for this person and said, later on you will be touched by the foot of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that will liberate you from the curse of being a ghost. So Krishna woke up and he wanted to be held by his mother and drink her breast milk, but she didn't hear him crying because she was busy with other activities at the festival. And so this made Krishna very angry, and he raised his leg up and he kicked the cart. And all of a sudden the cart fell apart in many pieces, even though it was burdened with many big items loaded inside of the cart. The whole thing just fell down, and by a miracle, Krishna was unharmed. And so all of the elders came running over when they heard the tumultuous noise of the cart falling apart, and they asked the boys who were there what happened. And the boys explained that Krishna had kicked the cart and the cart fell apart, and no one wanted to believe that. They couldn't understand how a tiny baby could have the power to kick a cart like that and break it into pieces. But this was one of the pastimes of Krishna, and this is how he behaves. He looks like an ordinary child, and his mother is very worried all the time about his welfare and well-being, and so are all the rest of the citizens of Vrindavan, because they just do not understand that Krishna is the supreme being, and actually nothing can harm him, and he has supernatural power, and so there's actually no force that can harm him. But anyway, this pastime is very important because it displays one of Krishna's abilities, and it shows also how he had mercy on this ghostly being and liberated him from being a ghost. So in order to fulfill the end of the curse of these sages, Krishna liberated this demoniac being. So then Mother Yasoda picked up the child and began to feed the child with her breast again to try to calm down the baby, and all of the brahmanas and Mother Yasoda began to chant mantras for the protection of the baby, and there was a resuming of the big celebration, and everyone was happy to see the result that Krishna had been miraculously saved. And this was happening over and over again. Different demons were being sent by Kamsa to get rid of Krishna, and by some miraculous means Krishna survived over and over again. Of course, Krishna cannot be defeated by anyone, but the residents of Vrindavan, they don't know that. They think Krishna is a baby and he can be harmed. So they have a lot of concern and anxiety about taking care of Krishna. And this is called Leela, or the activities of the devotees of God. The devotees of God, they have love and concern with the Supreme Being because they don't understand that he is the Supreme Being. They think he is their child or their friend or their relative, and so many things like that. So we, the conditioned souls in the material world, are supposed to meditate on these pastimes so we can have a glimpse of the activities of the Supreme Person, and hopefully we will be attracted to those activities and we will go back home to be with Krishna once again, which is where we started originally. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that these different demons that attack Krishna have different symbolic meanings, and the Sakatasura cart demon is a representation of us carrying the burden of a cartload of old and new bad habits and lethargy and vanity. So the cart is like a big burden that we are carrying in different ways, and hopefully Krishna will kick that away and liberate us just like he liberated Sakatasura. I hope everyone likes this pastime. I think it's wonderful. I offer my humble obeisances to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who brought us all of this information, and I hope everyone liked the story. Hari Bol.